What up? It's your boy Telee, and welcome to another episode of 15 Minutes a Game. Real quick, thank everybody who been liking, subscribing, and sharing the videos like I always do. And make sure you go check out the podcast. And to everybody that's listening on the podcast, you can click the link below in the description to check out the video footage if you want to see the YouTube video. And with that being said, we're gonna get right into it. If you notice today, I don't got the green screen. You know what I'm saying? I don't got all the graphics and all that because the topic what I'm gonna talk about today is pretty much self-explanatory. I don't really need the fancy graphics and all of that to get this point across. And the thing I want to talk about is hoping for the best but expecting the worst. Yeah, hope for the best but expect the worst. And why that's one of the mottos that I live by is because anytime, don't get me wrong, I'm not a pessimistic person, but I try to be optimistic as much as possible. But at the same time, I look at reality. I never been one of those people that think the best things are always going to happen to me, or that everything is going to always work out for the better. And as a kid, I used to kind of think like that. I just thought that we poor, but one day it's going to work out, and we going to have something to eat this day or that day. And a lot of times it didn't work out like that. And what you do when you hang your head on always expecting the best things is going to happen, you set yourself up for failure, let down, heartbreak, or just a devastation ultimately. Because we don't live in a perfect world. There's always going to be obstacles in the way, some that you can overcome, some that you can't. So that's why I adopted the motto of hoping for the best but expect the worst. Because if you expecting the worst, you could be prepared for it. You won't, if something don't go your way, then hey, you could say at least I tried, but this came up or that came up, it didn't happen like this, it didn't happen like that. And if whatever you set out to do or receive, if you do get that or you do accomplish that, then it's icing on the cake, because you was already hoping that you did. So that's celebratory. But I've seen a lot of people that, and don't get me wrong, that's a great thing to have a positive outlook on life. It's beautiful to be one of those people that just see the good in everything. That accounts for good personality, and that's a good trait to have. But and for those people, to their credit, a lot of those people that had that personality is because really they haven't had to go through a lot of heartache, or a lot of struggle, because that's pretty much why they're so optimistic, because they probably grew up in a situation to where everything was cool and everything was dandy. They didn't have to worry about too much on the back end. But for the people who is on a come up trail, or if you're trying to start a business, if you're trying to you want to upgrade your car, you want to you always got to be prepared that something gonna happen. That's Newton law. That's whoever, I don't know, don't quote me on that, but whoever that said that everything that bad can happen will happen. I don't know if it was Newton, it was somebody, but anyway. But yeah, you gotta realize, man, that bad things happen in this world. And when you set out to do something, to have your heart so set on something, and all you see is the finish line, like you looking past all the obstacles, that could be great, but you just got to know that if that don't work out for you, it's gonna really, that could really mess you up. And like I say, I see a lot of people with that mentality, man, and for the most part, it work out. But it's always that certain percentile when things don't go as they plan, and they'd be devastated. Like, so you always got to keep you a backup plan, pretty much. You know, if, if you set your goals, you got to set them realistically, especially if you're one of those optimistic people. If you setting these crazy goals, which by the way, high goals are great. You know what I'm saying? Because if you aiming for the moon, at least you hit the stars. Those high goals are great, but when you setting those high goals with no backup plan or nothing else to fall back on, and you one of those optimistic people, and then something happened, you know, that's a far fall. So what I like to do is just keep all my goals realistic, and even with the realistic goals, always have a backup plan in mind. Like, especially if it's something to do with a career choice, or something that's is bringing you money, or your plan to get some money or make some money. You always got to have something to fall back on, and that'll save you a lot of devastation. Another thing too is, like with your goals, you got to be flexible. You got to know how to for when those obstacles come up, you got to know to maneuver around them. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't want to change up your main goal, you got to put some audibles in there to where you could be like, okay, if this happened, then I'm gonna do that, or if that happened, I'm gonna do this. And that just gives you wiggle room, so that you when something happens, because the unknown is called the unknown for a reason. You never know, like, what's gonna pop up. You could plan, you know what I'm saying? You could plan, you could have the plan perfect, but it's variables to every plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could you could have the greatest idea in the world, and one thing could throw a wrench in that whole situation because you didn't expect that. So that's why you always gotta expect, like, something bad gonna happen. And that's basically pretty much how I always live my life. Like, I wouldn't consider myself a negative person, or a person that's always thinking the worst is gonna happen. But at the same time, I'm prepared, or I expect it, because I done seen those type of things happen. So it's like I say, it's good to be flexible with any goal that you set, because the flexibility allows you alternate routes. And when you got those alternate routes, when the original plan don't work, then at least you have something to fall back on to ease that fall from not being able to reach what you got to do. But we always got to have a backup plan. Basically, that's basically what this whole video is about. Like, what I'm saying, having something to fall back on. I know a lot of people have their heart set on certain dreams, and to a certain extent, that's good. It's either, a lot of people be like, it's either this or nothing, I'm all in, and that's pretty good, like when you're living in a fantasy world. But in the world we live in, change happens every day, and that change affects, like, all of your long-term goals, your long-term plans. You got to be able to move and adjust with the changing world and economy. And I always discuss finances in my videos, because at the end of the day, people could say money don't make you happy or can't buy happiness, but at the end of the day, everybody trying to improve their financial situation, uh, to keep pushing forward in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll never be that person that say money can't buy you happiness, because hey man, if you get enough money, or if you making enough money, then I'm pretty sure it's gonna be less stress in your life. Now, if you go like with billionaires and multimillionaires, that's a different problem. I mean, that's a different level. Of course, more money, more problems. But when when you trying to get to that point, uh, money gonna always help. What I'm saying, help out with your situations going forward. And like I try to make my videos motivational in that point, to help people get money to better their finances, and just better their overall way of living and thinking. Like I always say, I never try to push my views on people. It's just I feel like I'm a neutral party looking in, like, because the way I look at things, I look at things from both sides all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm never too one-sided about nothing. And that's why I could kind of feel comfortable doing these videos, because I know, like, I would never try to force one person either way. So you gotta hope for the best but expect the worst. It's gonna always just help you out, help alleviate some of the stress if something don't go through. And then in the end, like I say, it's icing on the cake. If all went as planned, then hey, it's all good. And I want to start doing some other things, man. Like I pretty much got some set topics wrote down in my notes that I want to cover. But if there's anything that y'all want me to speak on, let me know. I know a little bit about everything. If I don't know it, then I can find somebody who do and bring them on. We could get on and drop some jewels like we always do. But yeah, like if it's something that you want me to touch on, just leave it in the comments. I try to respond to everybody who comment, because if somebody take their time out and say something to me, then I appreciate that. That's love. So I'm gonna try my best to get back to everybody, whoever whoever drop a comment, as long as it ain't nothing negative, or some shit I might not respond to. But even then, I can agree to disagree. So whatever you got to say, just drop it. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you like the video, like, share it. And like I always say, I could talk forever about these topics, but today you just got 15 minutes. Peace.